The Internet, a place that connects billions of people and opens up a world of possibilities, is also home to a darker, more sinister side. Beneath the surface of social media platforms, online shopping, and entertainment, a vast underground network exists where criminals operate with relative anonymity. These digital criminals are using the very tools that were created to connect us for more malicious purposes. In today's video, we'll explore some of the most disturbing and little-known crimes that exist on the internet. You won't believe some of the things that happen right under our noses. Deep web and dark web activities, the hidden world. When most people think of the dark web, they picture a lawless and mysterious underworld, often linked to illegal activities. But what exactly is the dark web, and why is it such a hotspot for crime? The dark web is part of the deep web, the unindexed part of the internet that you can't access through a typical search engine like Google. It requires special software, such as Tor, to access. While the deep web contains many harmless sites, like private databases, the dark web is home to various illegal activities, including drug trafficking, human trafficking, and illegal weapon sales. One of the most notorious places on the dark web is Silk Road, an online black market where users could anonymously buy and sell illegal drugs. Despite law enforcement's best efforts, the dark web remains a haven for criminals. With cryptocurrency like Bitcoin providing additional layers of anonymity, it has become increasingly difficult for authorities to track down offenders. The crimes on the dark web can range from selling stolen data to organizing illegal contracts, making it a playground for some of the most dangerous criminals in the world. Ransomware attacks, the digital extortionists. One of the most terrifying types of cybercrime in recent years is ransomware. In a ransomware attack, a hacker gains access to your personal or business files, encrypts them, and then demands a ransom, usually in cryptocurrency, in exchange for the decryption key. These attacks are more than just a nuisance. They can completely shut down operations for businesses and individuals alike. The WannaCry ransomware attack in 2017 was a wake-up call for many, as it affected hundreds of thousands of computers in 150 countries. The attack targeted vulnerabilities in Microsoft Windows and spread like wildfire, affecting major organizations like the UK's National Health Service, NHS. Hospitals were forced to turn away patients, and critical data was lost. Ransomware attacks are increasingly sophisticated, with hackers often threatening to release sensitive information or even destroy data entirely if the ransom isn't paid. Victims are left in a terrifying position: pay the ransom or risk losing everything. Even worse, paying the ransom does not always guarantee that the data will be recovered. Cyberstalking and online harassment. While online harassment is something most of us have experienced in one form or another, cyberstalking takes this to an entirely new level. Cyberstalking is the use of the internet, email, or social media to stalk or harass an individual. This can include sending threatening messages, posting false or damaging content, and tracking someone's movements using digital tools. In extreme cases, the victims of cyberstalking have been driven to the brink of despair, leading to depression, anxiety, or even suicide. The anonymity of the internet makes it easier for stalkers to target their victims without fear of immediate consequences, and social media platforms often make it difficult to track or block these offenders. One high-profile example of cyberstalking occurred with Retta Parsons, a Canadian teenager who was relentlessly harassed online after being sexually assaulted by a group of boys. The harassment pushed Retta to take her own life, and her case became a rallying cry for better laws around cyberbullying and cyberstalking. This is a harsh reminder that the internet, while connecting us, also harbors many who use it as a weapon against others. Darknet child exploitation, the horrifying reality. One of the most appalling crimes to be found on the dark web is child exploitation. Pedophiles and predators use encrypted platforms to trade and share illegal images and videos, often involving children. These criminals use the anonymity provided by the internet to avoid detection and to perpetuate their heinous crimes. Law enforcement agencies around the world, including the FBI and Europol, work tirelessly to track down offenders in this space, but the sheer scale of the issue is staggering. It's difficult to even begin to comprehend the depths of this criminal network, but it's a real and ongoing issue that continues to plague the internet. In many cases, these networks also exploit vulnerable children, often through trafficking, abuse, or grooming. The global scale of this issue highlights the dark reality of the internet and serves as a reminder of why we must remain vigilant when it comes to online safety and digital privacy. Phishing scams and identity theft. Digital deception at its worst. One of the oldest tricks in the book, phishing scams have evolved over time, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. Phishing is the act of tricking someone into revealing personal information, such as passwords, bank account numbers, or social security numbers, by pretending to be a legitimate entity. These scams often come in the form of emails, text messages, or even phone calls that appear to be from reputable companies. They ask the victim to click on a link or download an attachment that installs malware or redirects them to a fraudulent website. Once the victim enters their information, the scammer has access to their accounts, which can be used for identity theft or financial fraud. In 2019, a massive phishing scam targeted users of Google and Apple, where cybercriminals impersonated tech support representatives to steal personal data. Victims were convinced to give away their login credentials, leading to widespread identity theft and financial loss. These scams are constantly evolving, making it more difficult for people to protect themselves. But with constant vigilance, awareness, and proper security measures, individuals can minimize the risks of falling victim to these malicious activities. Online drug marketplaces, the illicit trade of the 21st century. While the internet has made accessing legitimate goods easier than ever, it has also facilitated the rise of online drug marketplaces. Platforms like the Silk Road, which was taken down by the FBI in 2013, allowed people to buy and sell illicit drugs anonymously using cryptocurrencies. Despite its shutdown, the demand for such marketplaces has not diminished. Criminals continue to operate in this space, selling everything from illegal narcotics to prescription medications. The rise of new platforms, like Alphabay and Dream Market, has meant that drug trafficking has gone digital, and the underground drug trade is more active than ever. These websites typically operate on the dark web, offering anonymity and security for users on both sides of the transaction. But authorities are beginning to use cutting-edge technology, like blockchain analysis tools, to trace illegal activities in this space. Still, many buyers and sellers remain undeterred, making the online drug marketplace a constant challenge for law enforcement. Swatting, the deadly consequences of a prank gone wrong. Swatting is a disturbing phenomenon in which someone falsely reports a serious emergency, such as a bomb threat or active shooter situation, to provoke a massive response from law enforcement, often involving a SWAT team. The goal is usually to intimidate, harass, or prank a specific individual. However, this dangerous game has had deadly consequences. In one tragic case, a Kansas man was shot and killed by police after a swatting call. The caller had made a false report about a hostage situation at the victim's address, leading to an armed police response. When the victim opened his door, officers mistakenly believed he was a threat and shot him. The perpetrator was later arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter. This tragic event highlights the deadly potential of this dangerous internet crime. Swatting has become a growing problem, particularly in the gaming community, where players target rivals with these false reports. The real-world consequences of these actions have prompted calls for stronger penalties and better detection measures. The internet is an amazing resource, but it is also a dark and dangerous place where criminals exploit the very tools that make the digital world so appealing. From ransomware and cyberstalking to illicit online marketplaces and swatting, the crimes we've discussed today are only the tip of the iceberg. As the internet continues to evolve, so too do the threats that exist within it. We must remain vigilant, protect our online identities, and always be aware of the dangers lurking just beneath the surface of our screens. If this video opened your eyes to the dark side of the internet, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe online.